Let's first go to the oath that Luciferians is helping Satan uphold. Right? You know where I'm going, sir. The oath.
Yes, sir.
Right? Isaiah 14.
Isaiah 14 and verse 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations?
Which did weaken the nations. Read.
But thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north.
Read.
I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High.
I will be like the Most High. Now, how would he achieve this? Eventually, the end game was AI, him getting connected to every person on earth like God is. See? And use the technology to separate people, not just from their God, but from the moral foundation that kept them fearing God. See? So the technology compromises all moral agreements, if one would let it. Why? Because of access. See? So, I will ascend above the heights of the clouds, so he would need to use them for space travel. But it's not just space travel, folks. It's also gate travel.
I'll admit it is a little funky, but it serves its purpose. How'd you get here? Use one of these little portable jobs? I know we ain't supposed to use them except in cases of emergency, but they're so much fun. Now, if you think that's something, take a look at this. Go on, take a closer look.
Attention commuters. Flight Alpha 7 to Andromeda is now ready for boarding. Please step to the transmission platform.
That's where they come from.
All carry-on luggage must be held securely. Thank you for waiting, and we hope you have a pleasant trip.
Works exactly, but it has to do with some sort of gravitational lens deal, bending the light or some damn thing. But you can move from place to place, world to world if you want to. You see, the whole thing here works like one big airport. Boys, let me tell you, they got their act together. Believe you me.
Our projections show that by the year 2025, not only America, but the entire planet will be under the protection and the dominion of this power alliance. The gains have been substantial, both for ourselves and for you, the human power elite.
Some people would say this revolution is characterized by the fight of robots against human beings, and we will win this fight.
Professor Klaus Schwab was born in 1938 in Ravensburg, Germany, where Nazi crimes against humanity were committed. His father, Eugene Wilhelm Schwab, was the managing director of Escher Weiss Ravensburg, a company that used slave labor to manufacture weapons of war for the Third Reich.
Your Royal Highnesses, Excellencies, distinguished heads of state and government, the future is built by us, by a powerful community as you here in this room.
Klaus Schwab, the founder of the WEF, is particularly upfront and even proud of his ability to shape and influence world politics.
I created the community of global shapers as a means, as a force to shape our common future.
And of course, their Global Young Leaders program is a grooming ground so that when they ultimately infiltrate cabinets,
We penetrate the cabinets.
they will likely tend to govern a certain way.
Nobody will be safe if not everybody is vaccinated.
The names and the countries he mentioned ended up being some of the most dystopian and authoritative during this pandemic.
Names like Miss Merkel, Vladimir Putin, and so on.
Other names? Jacinda Ardern, Sebastian Kurz, Mauricio Macri, Mark Zuckerberg, Jack Ma, Gavin Newsom, Stéphane Bancel, Chelsea Clinton, Leonardo DiCaprio, Sanjay Gupta, Dr. Leana Wen, Alexander and Jonathan Soros, George Soros' sons, and several of the Rothschilds.
You have given us entree to the resources we need in our ongoing quest for multidimensional expansion. And in return, the per capita income of each of you here tonight has grown, and this year alone, by an average 39%.
Isn't it lovely, darling?
And I've just received word that our forces have won a major victory. The underground terrorist network has been destroyed here on the West Coast. We are off crisis alert. The situation is normal again.
Well, boys, as far as we go.
Technique called multispectral analysis. This would allow space sensors to penetrate natural barriers and camouflage.
Can you get us inside? I've never seen the inside of a TV studio before. You look like the gentleman to ask.
Well, I guess it wouldn't be that much problem. You see them boys over there? Friends of mine. Hey, fellas, I got a couple of my buddies here. Thought I'd give them the grand tour. Think we can go inside?
Be serious. You have your authorization cards.
Right here.
Watch the door.
No, you gotta listen to me. I thought you boys understood. It's business. That's all it is. You still don't get it, do you, boys? There ain't no countries anymore. No more good guys. They're running the whole show. They own everything, the whole damn planet. They can do whatever they want. What's wrong with having it good for a change? Now, they're gonna let us have it good if we just help them. They're gonna leave us alone. Let us make some money. You can have a little taste of that good life, too. Now, I know you want it. Hell, everybody does.
You do it to your own kind.
What's the threat? We all sell out every day. Might as well be on the winning team. See you, boys.
That's Satan trying to tempt people with worldly possessions and make them believe that there's no hope. So this movie can really be summarized in one verse. 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 4. It says, "In whom the God of this world hath blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Christ, who is the image of God, should shine unto them." See, in the movie, it's aliens that run the world. But in the real world, it's the devil and his demons. And see, all they want to do is block the light from shining in us. So they're going to keep us complacent, they're going to keep us comfortable, and they're going to keep us relying on the system. Because if you continue to do that, then you won't break out of the matrix. And if you break out of the matrix, they can't thrive. See, Christ is the way, the truth, and the life. No man comes to the Father unless they see him. So as long as you're living this life without Christ, you'll continue to be depressed, you'll continue to be anxious, and you'll continue to walk around with no purpose. Because this world is going to pass away. But all things through Christ have become new and everlasting.
The sides of the north is where the Most High resides. I will be like the Most High. I'll be in the minds of everyone. Guess what? I'll hear everything they say. I'll see everything they see. And I'll make a profile based on data they've given me. Right? Now let's go into how then what? He's sitting on the minds, or the minds of the congregation, the minds of the people. How? Let's go to the book of Revelation real quick. Let's go to the book of Revelation 13. And everyone talk about the beast, not realizing that that beast connects directly to Satan. It's the 10 horns of Rome connected to Satan. Stop waiting for an antichrist. The whole royal family that controls the world, from Israel to the Vatican, to the higher rungs of the capital and all the elite areas throughout the world. These people are connected with the beast. Let's go down to Revelation 13, Elder Lawyer. And we're going directly to what? He causeth. Matter of fact, let's start with the image of the beast. 13 and 15. Let's read that.
Yes, sir. Revelation 13 and 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak, and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed.
So there's a certain image, a certain lifestyle that comes with those who follow the beast. See? It's the lifestyle. It's an image. It's a profile. An avatar. Most people have created an image of themselves before the world, which is nothing different than what you would call an alternate reality to be used before the world. An image that the beast gives us through the technology. Right? So it has that component, a pride component with it, a lifestyle component, a standard where you would show people that you're doing all these great things and you're showing forth the best life before the world, even when you're flat broke. You can present an image of success. Right?
The tycoons of social media have to stop pretending that they're friendly nerd gods building a better world and admit they're just tobacco farmers in t-shirts, selling an addictive product to children. Because let's face it, checking your likes is the new smoking. Philip Morris just wanted your lungs. The App Store wants your soul.
There are 2 billion people, more than 2 billion people on Facebook. That's more than it's about the number of notional followers of Christianity. People check their phones 150 times a day, the millennial sort of audience. And so if you think about it, from the moment you wake up, it's like you're jacked in to this environment. And thoughts start streaming into your head, designed by a few technology companies.
What we find is the typical person checks their phone every 15 minutes or less. And half of the time they check their phone, there's no alert, no notification. It's coming from inside their head telling them, gee, I haven't checked in Facebook in a while. I haven't checked on this Twitter feed for a while. I wonder if somebody commented on my Instagram post. That then generates cortisol, and it starts to make you anxious. And eventually your goal is to get rid of that anxiety, so you check in.
And apparently we feel stressed when we can't get our phone or when our battery is about to die. You probably know this feeling. And a research done in Australia among 3,000 people under the age of 30 found that 9 out of every 10 admit to feel this anxiety while having his battery dying.
Steve Jobs revolutionized the entire world with the iPhone, and he never let his children use it, because he did not want them dependent on technology.
Right now, an infant is getting their first laptop that's soft and squishy and makes noise. Right now, a child is being born online and being favorited and retweeted.
The hyper-generational segregation of our time is bizarre, unhealthy, and historically unprecedented. You've never seen the like of people sitting at a table in a restaurant not talking to each other because they're texting and using their Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, and they are at the table and don't even know each other, in the house and can't even talk to each other. And the pressure that's on us to be like everybody else is so great that everybody tries to live like they're in a reality show.
As a culture, we don't have enough in common anymore. And that's because the internet, which was supposed to unite the world, has become too adept at serving us personalized content. Do you know what I saw on Yahoo's front page this morning? No, you don't, because mine isn't the same as yours. People get news feeds now that just spit back customized stories based on what we've clicked on in the past.
We are great consumers, but poor producers. We will buy what we can't afford with money that we don't have to impress people we don't even know, trying to be like everybody else. Get off of Facebook and put your face in a book.
Right now, a teenager is photoshopping their selfie because as a society, we're telling them they're not good enough. Right now, influencers encourage narcissism without knowing the breadth and depth of their impact on their audiences. Right now, 40,000 spectators are in an Olympic football arena watching a competitive esports competition because this is this generation's football match.
There's always this narrative that technology is neutral and it's up to us to choose how we use it. This is just not true.
Technology is not neutral.
It's not neutral. They want you to use it in particular ways and for long periods of time because that's how they make their money.
You don't realize it, but you are being programmed. It was unintentional, but now you got to decide how much you're willing to give up, how much of your intellectual independence. If you feed the beast, that beast will destroy you. If you push back on it, we have a chance to control it and rein it in. And it is a point in time where people need to hard break from some of these tools and the things that you rely on. The short-term dopamine-driven feedback loops that we have created are destroying how society works. No civil discourse, no cooperation, misinformation, mistruth. And it's not an American problem. This is not about Russian ads. This is a global problem.
I challenge everyone to try going 1 week without social media.
Don't let your phone and social media control you.
And to a lot of people, that's a form of really an escape. It's an escape from the reality of their lives. They can be something else that others revere or idol, even though nothing is going on. The internet will allow them to have that attention. See? And cause that as many would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So they're going to do what? They're going to be able to isolate those who didn't capitulate, who didn't worship the beast or his image. Now that they got everyone in a database, they'll now have a database of the enemy that they're seeking to destroy, who 9 times out of 10 is connected to the Father.
A day in the life of UK school children 2035.
So now, if everyone is in the same database,
you have gone over your
they did it through my card.
Your access is denied. You have gone over your
they got this
and your access is denied.
Through Obamacare now, everyone, my chart, where all your medical and all that is right there, that can be seen from anybody in the world. So that's the medical side. Then you got the school side. Then you got the financial side. all of this in one database connected to your profile, the image. But you need the technology to bring it all together. Right? As long as you're down with the beast, that's right, the beast will leave your image turned on. But at any time, once they ramp this up, they'll have the fail switch to be able to cut off your image if you don't comply. So what is this image? 16, he causeth.
And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead.
To receive a mark in the right hand or the forehead. John on the Isle of Patmos, brothers and sisters, seen our current time almost 2,000 years ago. He's seen the technology that links all people to the beast, Lucifer. These people that are over all of these elaborate scientific buildings and of technology, folks, they are Satanists.
In some cases, humans are now attempting to be creative.
They are
or
Satanists.
at the very least, to modify God's natural order of creation.
Now, let's examine real quick that mark, Revelation 13, verse 16. We covered a little bit of this in the academy. But let's break it down. He causeth. So what is the cause? Well, if you don't get it, you're barred out of society.
They didn't go broke, they got deleted. In China, tens of thousands of young people are suddenly homeless, not because of money, but because the system erased them.
Imagine a society where everything you do, everything you say, and everything you buy is controlled and evaluated by the authorities. This is what the Chinese Communist Party calls social credit.
By using the mechanism of social credit, we'll be able to establish a blacklist of people and create a system of punishment that will be based on a scientific theory. These punishments will serve as a whip to rebuild moral values. Our society needs it.
The country's social credit system decides who's trustworthy. But if you're blacklisted, it's game over. Your WeChat Pay stops working, you can't receive your salary, can't buy food, can't even book a train ticket. It's like being alive, but digitally. Many are now sleeping in the streets, cut off from everything. Jobs, housing, even communication. All because one app, one algorithm decided they don't belong.
It's not science fiction. In China, it's a reality. Then there's the public shaming. Photo galleries of blacklisted citizens. There's even an app that shows who around you is in debt.
They're not criminals. They didn't steal, cheat, or harm anyone. They just fell too low on a score and vanished from the digital world. Critics say it's a glimpse into the future where technology doesn't just track your life, it controls it. So ask yourself, if your entire life depended on your digital reputation, how long before you get deleted?
You will not be able to work in the United Kingdom if you do not have digital ID. Our immigration system does need to be fair if we want to maintain that binding contract that our politics is built on. And that is why today I am announcing this government will make a new free of charge digital ID mandatory for the right to work by the end of this Parliament. Let me spell that out. You will not be able to work in the United Kingdom if you do not have digital ID. It's as simple as that.
Please scan your ID. Access denied. Carbon quota exceeded.
What? No, come on. You've got to be kidding me.
Tell you what it is, it's in Revelation 13 and it talks about in the future. John was given a vision of the future not John the disciple, not John the Baptist, John the disciple, yeah? He was given God showed him what was going to happen in the future, right? And he said, no man can buy or sell unless he takes the mark in his right hand or upon the forehead. Now this isn't the mark, but it's laying the foundations for it. They want everything cashless. They want everything digital, everything you do, everything you buy, everything. It's got to go through them. If you're not complying, then basically you're against the system and you'll be beheaded for it. This is what the Bible's teaching. Now people are starting to comply with what's happening. People are just walking around shopping. Of just like town is no different to what every other day. It's like nothing's happening.
Digital ID must be accepted by U.S. citizens by 2028 or risk exclusion from society. Christian, are you going to be ready?
Wait, hold up. Let me get this straight. So one of the richest men on earth wants you to have a digital ID, and that's just the beginning. Larry Ellison, the owner of Oracle and now TikTok, not only said he wants our data centralized with an AI surveillance system, but he also said this.
Citizens will be on their best behavior because we're constantly recording and reporting everything.
Citizens will be on their best behavior. That sounds like a very dark dystopian future. And speaking of citizens, these people are protesting as we speak in the streets of London with signs that say no to digital ID. And why does this seem like a bigger overall plan in Europe? Because not only they're pushing a digital ID, but a CBDC as well, a central bank digital currency, in which is being pushed by this woman, the president of the European Central Bank, Christine Lagarde.
Put to reality this digital euro. The deadline for us is going to be October of 25.
And if you guys don't think this can happen, well, it's already happening in China right now with digital IDs and a social credit score.
I once again cannot buy food. A couple days ago, my uncle and my cousin helped me get a cell phone that is linked to a Chinese bank card so that I could buy anything.
And if that's not bad enough, they even have facial recognition technology for kids to get inside their own schools. And I'll say it once and I'll say it again. They always put it in the movies. Remember that episode on Black Mirror years ago where they had a social credit score system? Well, surprise, surprise. It's here.
Well, England's just submitted to it. They just submitted to digital ID.
Oh, yeah.
Pushing digital ID on these people. And once they do digital ID, they're going to attach it to a social credit score. Yep. They're going to attach it to a carbon footprint score. And then they'll be able to control your movement and control you entirely. And most importantly, they've already arrested 12,000 people for social media posts.
That's insane.
Above and beyond every other country. Way above Russia. Russia was like 400 last year. The UK is 12,000. Any criticism of immigration, any criticism of grooming gangs and people being raped, any talk about how horrible this is, they come visit you. It's like someone's trying to destroy England. It's literally like they've got a concerted effort to destroy England, and they're getting away with it.
Yeah, and what happens over there?
It's really crazy. It's really crazy to watch because the mass immigration's not an accident. If I was going to destroy a country, I would do it exactly the way they're doing it. I'd take away their freedom, take away their ability to protest, take away their guns, which they did in the 90s, and then you start tightening that noose. Tighter and tighter, add more restrictions, more this, more that.
Whether you're small, whether you're great, whether you're rich, or whether you're poor, in order to get your EBT cards refilled, in order to get your food, housing, if you're poor, you're going to have to comply. If you're rich, if you want to sustain the lifestyle you've come accustomed to, you're going to have to comply. Free, whether you're walking around free on earth, or whether or not you are in jail. If you're walking free right now like Chris Brown, or if you're locked up like P. Diddy. Here's the options. To receive a mark. Let's look at this mark. Mark. Charagma. A scratch. Etching. That is a stamp as a badge of servitude. When it says etching, that's in the skin, folks. It comes from the word karax in the Greek. Karasso, listen to this, folks, to sharpen to a point. A syringe is what John seen. He seen a needle going into people. Sharpen to a point. Listen to this, through the idea of scratching. So yes, it punctures the skin. That's why a lot of people erroneously thought that the vaccine that came out was the mark of the beast. But what they didn't know is all of that stuff is preparing the bodies to receive the mark of the beast, where the spike protein will connect to the hard drive, which will be the microchip in the hand or forehead.
Elon Musk envisions a future dominated by Neuralink users, eliminating the need for phones. He tweeted this after an AI-generated image showed him with a neural network design on his forehead. Neuralink, Musk's neurotechnology firm, recently implanted its brain chip in a human for the first time. The recipient, Noland Arbaugh, paralyzed from the shoulders down, showed promising recovery. Neuralink is now seeking a second participant for its clinical trials. Arbaugh shared his positive experiences, highlighting the transformative impact of technology on his life. Do you think Neuralink will be able to cure all physical diseases? Will phones not exist in the future with the introduction of brain chip technology?
It's prepping the bodies to receive Satan's mark. A stake. Now check this out. So what happens to the people who receive the mark? Listen to this.
Yeah, soon.
Hope you all can see this. A palisade, a rampart, a military mound for circumvallation in a siege. So everybody with the mark of the beast will be turned against the righteous who believe in God who didn't receive it. They're going to be used as a military, like agents coming against God's people.
People are going to die.
That's the plan. Now that they're connected to AI, Satan is going to be turned on, and he's going to point everyone towards getting rid of the true believers in Christ who opposes his kingdom. They're going to be used. We're talking about robots. The people are going to become the robots. Now, either you're going to be replaced by robots or become the robots. When the chip is in you, they don't need the robots. They can just control people. They'd rather be people.
There's a battle playing out for our very humanness. It sets the context for every event that is unfolding in our world. There's something deep within each of us, so powerful, so precious, that nations will go to war with other nations to keep us distracted. There is a movement to replace our bodies with synthetics, chemicals in the blood, sensors under the skin, computer chips in the brain, artificial intelligence. It steals from us our ability to access this part of us. We're about to give our humanness away to the technology before we even know what it means to be fully human. And we are more than we've been led to believe.
Huh? Are y'all following me here? So now, in order for them to do this, they had to set up what? They had to set up a surveillance grid. That's what Ezra seen in 2nd Ezra 16. Elder Lawyer, if you can, let's get that real quick. And let's go when it talks about you're not going to be able to go into certain cities.
You think you were free? Take a look around you the next time you walk down any major street in any major city. Count the cameras, count the sensors, count the new smart infrastructure being installed on street corners, light poles, and buildings. Now realize that what you can see is just the tip of the iceberg. While most people remain distracted by celebrity gossip and manufactured political theater, the most comprehensive surveillance infrastructure in human history is being quietly installed in cities across the globe. They call it smart cities, a friendly, progressive-sounding term designed to make you think of convenience, efficiency, and technological progress. But what's really being built is a prison without walls, a control system so pervasive that physical barriers become unnecessary. This isn't science fiction. This isn't some far-off dystopian future. The Smart City program is already here, being implemented right now in your city, and what I am about to reveal will fundamentally change how you see urban development forever. Let me explain what's really happening. For years, we've been conditioned to accept increasingly invasive surveillance technologies in the name of convenience and security. First, it was CCTV cameras at major intersections. Then it was automated license plate readers. Then facial recognition. Each step normalized the last while preparing us for the next level of intrusion. But the Smart City Initiative represents something fundamentally different, not just in scale, but in kind. We were talking about the deployment of integrated, interconnected systems of surveillance and control that monitor virtually every aspect of urban life in real time. These systems don't just watch us, they collect data, analyze patterns, make predictions, and increasingly make automated decisions that directly impact our lives. The marketing pitch is always the same. Smart cities will make urban life more efficient, more sustainable, more convenient. Traffic will flow better, energy will be conserved, crime will be reduced, public services will be optimized, and some of those benefits might even materialize, but they come at a cost that's rarely discussed: the complete erosion of privacy, autonomy, and freedom of movement in public space. What most people don't realize is that this isn't just about cameras on street corners. The technology being deployed is far more sophisticated and intrusive than most citizens understand, and it's being rolled out globally, following remarkably similar patterns across countries with otherwise different political systems, suggesting a coordinated effort that transcends national governments. The concept of smart cities emerged from IBM's Smarter Planet initiative, launched in 2008, right after the financial crisis, when governments were desperate for new economic development models. The initial focus was on using data and technology to improve urban infrastructure and services, but what began as a corporate marketing campaign has evolved into something far more comprehensive and concerning. Today, smart city technologies have evolved into a sophisticated ecosystem of interconnected surveillance and control systems that permeate virtually every aspect of urban life. Ubiquitous sensor networks blanket our cities with thousands of monitoring devices that capture everything from environmental conditions to human movement patterns, creating vast data streams that reveal how citizens interact with urban spaces. These networks work in tandem with advanced camera systems that go far beyond traditional CCTV, incorporating facial recognition, gait analysis, behavioral detection algorithms, and thermal imaging capabilities that can identify individuals, track their movements throughout the city, and automatically flag behaviors deemed abnormal or suspicious by the system's parameters. At the heart of this infrastructure lie integrated data platforms that function as central nervous systems, aggregating information from countless sources: environmental sensors, surveillance cameras, social media feeds, mobile devices, and payment systems to create comprehensive profiles of both urban dynamics and individual behavior patterns. These platforms feed into sophisticated predictive analytics systems that leverage artificial intelligence to forecast future events based on historical data, from traffic congestion and crime hotspots to public health trends, increasingly driving automated responses without human oversight or intervention. The physical infrastructure of smart cities has been transformed through Internet of Things, IoT technology, with connected devices embedded throughout the urban environment: smart streetlights that monitor presence and adjust illumination, trash receptacles that signal when they require emptying, and countless other intelligent objects that serve dual purposes, providing services while simultaneously collecting data on citizen behaviors and movements. Access to physical spaces and services increasingly relies on biometric control systems that use facial recognition, fingerprint scanning, or other biological identifiers to regulate entry to transportation systems, buildings, services, and even public spaces, creating invisible barriers that can be selectively enforced based on algorithmic determinations. Perhaps most concerning is the proliferation of digital ID systems that make identification mandatory for accessing essential services, transportation networks, and even private businesses, generating permanent trackable records of individuals' movements and activities throughout the urban landscape. These interconnected systems, Don T, operate in isolation but function as a unified surveillance grid that can monitor, analyze, and potentially control virtually every aspect of urban life, raising profound questions about privacy, autonomy, and the changing relationship between citizens and the cities they inhabit. But here's what makes this truly Orwellian: the integration of all these systems into a unified surveillance and control grid. Individual technologies might seem benign or even beneficial in isolation. It's their combination into a single comprehensive system that creates unprecedented capabilities for monitoring and controlling populations. Let me give you concrete examples of how these systems are already being deployed. In Singapore, the Smart Nation initiative includes lamppost-mounted cameras with facial recognition capabilities covering much of the city. These cameras, Don T, just identify individuals. They can detect suspicious behaviors like loitering or gathering in groups. The system is integrated with a mandatory digital ID that tracks citizens' interactions with government services. In China, cities like Shenzhen have implemented comprehensive surveillance systems that track individuals through facial recognition, monitor social media activity, and assign social credit scores that can restrict access to transportation, housing, and employment. The system doesn't just observe behavior, it actively shapes it through automated rewards and punishments. But if you think this is just happening in authoritarian countries, think again. In London, the Smart London initiative has deployed thousands of sensors and cameras throughout the city, creating what they call a digital twin, a real-time virtual replica of the physical city that tracks movement patterns, energy usage, and individual activities. The system is increasingly being used to make automated decisions about resource allocation and policing priorities in New York City. The Link NYC kiosks that replaced phone booths are equipped with multiple cameras, microphones, and sensors that track pedestrian movements and behaviors. These kiosks also serve as Wi-Fi hotspots, collecting data on devices that connect to them and creating detailed maps of individual movements through the city. In Toronto, Google Sidewalk Labs attempted to develop a city from the internet up on the waterfront with embedded sensors throughout the built environment, collecting data on virtually every aspect of urban life. Though this particular project faced backlash and was scaled back, similar initiatives continue in cities worldwide. The most disturbing aspect of these systems is how they are being normalized and expanded without meaningful public debate or consent. Smart city technologies are typically implemented through public-private partnerships that obscure accountability and bypass traditional democratic processes. Decisions about what data to collect, how to analyze it, and who has access to it are made by technical experts and corporate representatives, not elected officials or citizens. The technical capabilities of smart city systems are advancing at a breathtaking pace, with the latest generation introducing unprecedented levels of prediction, control, and behavioral manipulation. Predictive policing algorithms now leverage artificial intelligence to analyze complex patterns of movement social media activity and historical incident data, claiming to forecast not only where crimes might occur, but who might commit them, often with troubling consequences. These systems frequently direct increased police resources toward already heavily monitored communities, creating dangerous feedback loops where greater surveillance leads to more arrests, which in turn justifies even more intensive monitoring, perpetuating cycles of over-policing in marginalized neighborhoods. Beyond mere observation, smart cities now deploy sophisticated behavioral modification systems explicitly designed to shape citizen conduct through a calculated system of digital nudges, incentives, and penalties. These range from seemingly benign applications rewarding positive behaviors like recycling or public transit usage to more concerning systems that restrict access to essential services based on past behaviors deemed problematic by authorities or algorithms. This represents a fundamental shift from passive monitoring to active social engineering, where urban infrastructure becomes a mechanism for enforcing conformity to officially sanctioned behavioral norms. Perhaps most disturbing is the rapid deployment of emotion recognition technologies, advanced camera systems claiming to detect and categorize emotional states based solely on facial expressions and body language analysis. Despite serious questions about their accuracy and scientific validity, these systems are increasingly appearing in public spaces, educational institutions, and workplaces, identifying individuals who display emotional patterns flagged as concerning or abnormal by the System S parameters. This introduces a new frontier of surveillance that penetrates beyond external behaviors to attempt monitoring of internal emotional states. The development of persistent tracking capabilities represents another quantum leap in surveillance power, enabling systems to follow individuals seamlessly across multiple data sources and physical locations. This creates comprehensive longitudinal records of movements, associations, and activities over extended time periods. The implication is profound. These systems aren't merely capturing isolated moments, but constructing complete historical profiles of where you've been, who you've interacted with, and what patterns emerge from your daily life, essentially eliminating the concept of practical anonymity in public space. Completing this ecosystem of control are automated access control systems that make algorithmic determinations about who can enter specific spaces or utilize particular services based on digital profiles and risk assessments. These systems effectively establish invisible but powerful boundaries throughout urban environments, restricting freedom of movement based not on transparent legal standards, but on opaque algorithmic calculations of risk or worthiness. The result is a stratified city where access to spaces and services depends increasingly on conformity to behaviors deemed acceptable by those who control the algorithms, fundamentally altering the nature of public space and citizenship itself. The implications are profound. In a fully implemented smart city, there is effectively no privacy in public space. Every movement, every interaction, every transaction generates data that is collected, analyzed, and stored. This data doesn't just sit in isolated databases. It is integrated into comprehensive profiles that can be used to predict behavior, assess risk, and make automated decisions that directly impact people's lives. But it gets worse. The smart city infrastructure isn't just being built by local governments. It's being developed and controlled by a small group of powerful technology companies, IBM, Cisco, Huawei, Siemens, Microsoft, Google, and Amazon, among others. These companies don't just provide the technology, they often maintain control over the data and algorithms, creating dependencies that cities can easily escape. This corporate control introduces several additional concerns. First, these systems prioritize data extraction for profit. The business model of smart city technology often involves monetizing the data collected from citizens, creating incentives to maximize surveillance rather than minimize it. Second, the proprietary nature of many smart city systems creates black boxes that can be scrutinized by citizens or even government officials. Decisions made by these systems can be effectively challenged when the algorithms themselves are protected as trade secrets. Third, the global nature of these technology companies means that data collected in one jurisdiction may be accessible to governments or corporations in other jurisdictions, creating complex questions about sovereignty and control. And fourth, the dependency on these systems creates opportunities for coercion and control. Once a city has integrated smart systems into its basic infrastructure, the threat of service withdrawal gives technology providers enormous leverage over public policy. But perhaps the most concerning aspect is how smart city technologies are eroding the traditional boundary between public and private surveillance. Data collected by private companies through consumer devices and services is increasingly being integrated with government surveillance systems, creating comprehensive profiles that neither sector could build alone. For example, Amazon's Ring doorbell cameras and Sidewalk mesh network create private surveillance networks that can be accessed by law enforcement without warrants in many jurisdictions. Google's various services collect location data that can be combined with public camera feeds to create complete pictures of individual movements. Telecommunications companies track mobile device locations that can be correlated with smart city sensor data. This public-private surveillance partnership represents a fundamental threat to civil liberties.
So if you're running Android today or any Apple iPhone, they know where you go, who you call, what you buy, and what you browse. And they resell that data, your data, to advertisers. Your advertising ID follows you everywhere. Even if your phone is switched off or if it's in airplane mode, it's still pinging Wi-Fi, it's still pinging towers, it knows exactly where you are. I said to a couple of buddies of mine, we need to do a phone that is not subject to the whims of Google and Apple. If you've ever heard of Pegasus, it's an offensive cyber virus used for hacking phones. The guy that developed that is our CTO. We'll deliver the first 500 units next month. It's our hardware, it's Android-based, but it's all our code, our phone, not made in China, supply chain not coming from China, with our operating system, with our own store, antivirus, VPN, and secure messenger. It comes with an actual kill switch. If you turn this phone off and you separate this, it separates the electronics from the battery so that off is off. And we guarantee that none of your data is collected, stored, analyzed, or resold. Our messenger generates a new encryption key every call. Oh shit. Yes. Incredible. And because it's our app store, it's not Apple's, it's not Google's. We even have a lot of the apps that are not allowed in those stores.
The legal protections that traditionally limited government surveillance requirements for warrants, probable cause, due process are being circumvented through partnerships with private companies that operate under different legal standards. So what does this mean for you personally? In the smart city, your daily life is continuously monitored, analyzed, and influenced in ways you might not even notice. When you leave your home, cameras with facial recognition identify you and begin tracking your journey. Sensors in the sidewalk register your footsteps. Your smartphone connects to Wi-Fi hotspots that log your presence. The transit system records which bus or train you take. Cameras inside the vehicle track where you sit and who you talk to. When you enter a store, sensors detect your presence and cameras track your shopping behavior. When you make a purchase, the transaction is logged and analyzed. Throughout this journey, AI systems are analyzing your behavior for patterns. Are you following your usual routine or deviating in ways that might be flagged as unusual? Are you meeting with people who have been categorized as high risk? Are you spending time in areas associated with political activism or other concerning activities? Are your facial expressions and body language indicating emotional states that might trigger additional scrutiny? All of this happens without your awareness or consent. The systems are designed to be invisible, to fade into the background of urban infrastructure. The cameras are discreetly mounted in light fixtures and building facades. The sensors are embedded in sidewalks and street furniture. The data collection happens automatically without requiring any affirmative action on your part, and the consequences can be very real. In a fully implemented smart city, your access to spaces and services can be automatically restricted based on your digital profile. Your insurance rates might increase based on movement patterns that an algorithm flags as high risk. Your job applications might be rejected because you've been categorized as potentially unstable or unreliable based on behavioral analysis. Your children's educational opportunities might be limited because your family has been assigned to a high-risk category. These aren't hypothetical scenarios. They read the logical extensions of systems already being implemented.
They didn't go broke, they got deleted. In China, tens of thousands of young people are suddenly homeless, not because of money, but because the system erased them.
Imagine a society where everything you do, everything you say, and everything you buy is controlled and evaluated by the authorities. This is what the Chinese Communist Party calls social credit.
By using the mechanism of social credit, we'll be able to establish a blacklist of people and create a system of punishment that will be based on a scientific theory. These punishments will serve as a whip to rebuild moral values. Our society needs it.
The country's social credit system decides who's trustworthy. But if you're blacklisted, it's game over. Your WeChat Pay stops working, you can't receive your salary, can't buy food, can't even book a train ticket. It's like being alive, but digitally. Many are now sleeping in the streets, cut off from everything. Jobs, housing, even communication. All because one app, one algorithm decided they don't belong.
It's not science fiction. In China, it's a reality. Then there's the public shaming. Photo galleries of blacklisted citizens. There's even an app that shows who around you is in debt.
They're not criminals. They didn't steal, cheat, or harm anyone. They just fell too low on a score, and vanish from the digital world. Critics say it's a glimpse into the future, where technology doesn't just track your life, it controls it. So ask yourself, if your entire life depended on your digital reputation, how long before you get deleted?
The social credit system in China demonstrates how integrated surveillance and scoring systems can directly impact life opportunities. But similar systems are emerging in Western democracies, just with less explicit framing and more corporate involvement. The smart city represents a fundamental transformation of the relationship between citizens and urban space. Traditionally, cities have been places of anonymity and freedom, where people could reinvent themselves, explore new identities, and escape the social constraints of smaller communities. The surveillance capacity of smart cities threatens to eliminate this freedom, creating environments where every action is observed, recorded, and potentially judged. This has profound implications for political freedom. When public spaces are continuously monitored, the ability to organize, protest, and advocate for political change is severely constrained. Facial recognition at protests allows authorities to identify and target participants. Movement tracking reveals organizational networks. Behavioral analysis flags potential agitators before they even act. The chilling effect on free expression and association cannot be overstated. When people know they are being watched, they modify their behavior. They avoid controversial topics. They limit their associations. They self-censor. This isn't speculation. It's a well-documented psychological phenomenon called the panopticon effect, named after a prison design where inmates could never know if they were being observed at any given moment. So what can we do about this? First, we need to recognize that the smart city is not inevitable in its current form. The technologies themselves are not inherently oppressive. They could be designed and deployed in ways that preserve privacy, enhance autonomy, and strengthen democratic control. But this would require a fundamental shift in how these systems are conceptualized, developed, and governed. We need strong legal frameworks that limit data collection to what is strictly necessary, require explicit consent, mandate transparency in algorithmic decision-making, and establish meaningful accountability mechanisms. We need democratic oversight of smart city initiatives, with citizens having real power to shape how technologies are deployed in their communities. We need technical designs that prioritize privacy and data minimization rather than maximizing surveillance capabilities. Most importantly, we need to challenge the narrative that comprehensive surveillance is necessary for efficiency, sustainability, or security. There are alternative approaches to achieving these goals that don't require sacrificing fundamental liberties. We need to demand these alternatives and refuse to accept the false choice between modern urban amenities and basic privacy rights. The struggle over smart cities is ultimately a struggle over power and control in the digital age. Will our urban environments be designed to serve citizens, enhancing their freedom and autonomy? Or will they become mechanisms of unprecedented surveillance and control, serving the interests of corporations and authoritarian governance? This isn't just about technology. It's about the kind of society we want to live in, and the decisions being made today about smart city infrastructure will shape that society for generations to come. The time to pay attention and to act is now, before these systems become too entrenched to challenge. Because once the full smart city infrastructure is in place, there may truly be no escape.
Yes, sir.
So in order to do that, they're going to have to set up surveillance grids. Similar to when everyone was dealing with lockdowns during so-called COVID, but when you came outside, you noticed new cameras on all of the traffic lights. They set up the new system with AI for surveillance during the time of lockdowns. And they had to lock down the world because all of the systems had to come into the AI grid. Are y'all following me here? All right? Breaking it down. So this is what we need to be focused on instead of people running around cursing out white people out of their minds, simple as the day's old, marching in front of some people who's praying on their own and not bothering anybody. This is where people need to be focused. And these were the same people out there telling people, oh yeah, y'all can get the shots. We've always got shots.
I do want to talk about occupations. There's certain occupations where, if I'm not mistaken, you have to get vaccinated on certain things. I know the military, 100%. If you don't want to get any type of vaccine, you are kicked out of the military. And I believe in the medical profession as well, because why? You're around sick people all day. So I'm saying it because I remember a sister was calling and crying. She's a nurse and she didn't want to get a vaccine. If there's hey, we get vaccine, we go traveling, we had to get the yellow fever shot and some other things. Get the vaccine if you have to. If you don't want to, then leave certain professions.
The same people that call the white man the devil is down with this technology. Simple as the days old. Right? So, Elder Lawyer, if you will, real quick. Hold on, let me get right here. Bring you down just a little bit, yeah. Yeah, that'll work right there. All right. Elder Lawyer, if we're going straight to 2nd Esdras. So now the technology must be in place for surveillance. Next. So let me grab here, if you will. 2nd Ezra.
It's going to be 15 and not 15.
15. There it is. Thank you. 15, verse 15.
2nd Ezra 15 and 15.
Yes, sir.
For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and shall fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there should be sedition among men, and invading one of another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power.
Shall stand in their power. What are we seeing right now? I showed it earlier. What people really need to be focusing on according to prophecy. This is what's going on down in Chicago right now.
Alma. Where is she at? I don't know.
Military smoke bombs against the citizenry, right?
A tactic mostly used by elite forces.
Or against people who was let over illegally, so to cause what? An internal conflict that's engineered. And what are we reading? The prophecy for all of this. Our prophet seen it. Read the 17th verse.
Yes, sir. 17. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able.
And shall not be able. Why? Surveillance. AI is going to be connected to everything, including the surveillance. See? So when they say that state, local, and federal, the military and the local police are working in coordination, folks, that's just a technicality to get over the Posse Comitatus Act. When the military come on the scene, they are in the authority. It doesn't matter what the local police is, even though there's a respect factor there. But when the military come on the scene, they're numero uno when it comes to law enforcement. Okay? So it says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Why? The technology. Read.
18. For because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid.
And men shall be afraid. Now, what do we talk about? In this presentation, we discussed the fact that the majority of the people are going to lose their jobs. AI is going to replace their jobs. Which leads us to the next prophecy. 19. Hold on, let's get it. That leads us to the next prophecy. 19.
Verse 19. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation.
There you go.
This footage showed Border Patrol Chief Greg Bovino.
Then they're going to claim the crime rates are going up. Why? Well, if there's no jobs, people have to eat. Lack of bread. So who are they going to rob? Those in close proximity to them.
In response to criticism of the incident, the Department
Exactly what we're seeing here was given to us through the prophets.
chemical munitions were used in full accordance.
Folks, we're talking about almost 2,500 years ago. This was shown to Ezra, the prophet Ezra.
Border Patrol officials were transferred to ICE after a shakeup in
So now they're going to claim crime because if mom and dad don't got any work,
in Chicago will likely become the new norm.
and there's no food in the house, people are going to have to start pillaging one another. That's what we're reading here.
Officers are trained to use the minimum amount of force
Read.
to resolve dangerous situations, to prioritize the
Verse
safety of
20.
the public.
Behold, saith God, I will call together all the kings of the earth to reverence me, which are from the rising of the sun, from the south, from the east, in liveliness, to turn themselves one against another, and repay the things that they have done to them.
And the Most High have stoked a war where all the nations who were aligned against us are now fighting against one another. All of this chaos going on at the same time because Satan is losing power. Esau is losing power. This is how the Most High began to free his people. So that's the comfort we have in this, knowing that our God's hand is in this. And only those who are not down with him will be swept away in the carnage, in the chaos. Why? Let's read the next verse. Like as the day, 21.
21. Like as they do yet this day unto my chosen, so will I also do, in recompense in their bosom. Thus saith the Lord.
Thus saith the Lord Ahiah. But listen to this though. Read.
22. My right hand shall not spare the sinners, and my sword shall not cease over them that shed innocent blood upon the earth.
Read.
The fire is gone forth from his wrath, and have consumed the foundations of the earth, and the sinners like the straw that is kindled. Woe to them that sin and keep not my commandments, saith the Lord.
That's the hedge right there. Read.
25. I will not spare them. Go your way, ye children, from the power. Defile not my sanctuary.
Defile not our sanctuary. Just get down with the Most High. Do what's right and you'll be guided through. This is the God we must serve, that we must fear. Now let's go down to the point where they're going to put pressure on people and say, well, if you don't have the chip, then we're going to have to put you out of your houses. Right?
Yes, sir.
Let's go there real quick.
Right, chapter 16.
16, and let's start at around 70.
Second Ezra 16 and 70. For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord.
And this is coming down to those that what? That are without employment. It's going to be total chaos. Read.
Verse number 72. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses.
And cast them out of their houses. Now, what is the political climate for this? Well, how people are being put out their houses now, mind you, under the austerity all over the earth. And we had a meeting earlier this year amongst the leaders about this and saying, well, listen, we're going to have to keep our eyes on this. Because there's going to be an uptick. There's going to be an uptick on austerity and what? That's right. People losing their jobs. All of that, thinking that there's another opportunity coming down. Then scamming is going to go up on a whole nother level. We were dealing with, we were talking about people coming into the church scamming in certain areas that we had to get up out of there.
Now restaurants are stepping up and
because when things get tight, the fearful and those without faith panic, and they look to exploit those that are more trusted. That's what happens. For they shall waste and take away their goods. People are going to start looking at other people's goods and try to prey on them. And usually it says, and cast them out of their houses. And don't forget, folks, the enemy will be aiming their vitriol against those that fear the Lord. So if you believe in God, they're going to use that as a weakness to exploit you. So it's time to buckle up. It's time to harden up. It's time for you to say, you know what? I need to be able to preserve what I have for those who deserve it and the people I care about. And you're going to have to learn, and then we told brothers, people are going to have to learn when to say no. Stuff is drying up. We ain't going back to the world it used to be where anyone could just fill out an application and get a job. Long are the days for lucrative employment. So the first place they're going to be looking to exploit are people that are trusting, believe in God, and all of that, because they're usually the first marks by scammers. They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. They're going to be aimed towards, the first thing you're going to think about are the people who was telling them the truth. The people who was preparing. They're like, oh, I know who got food. I know who been preparing out there. They didn't listen to you in no time before now. But things are drying up now, and they're trying to come get what you stored for your family. 72.
A day in the life of UK.
For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. Then shall they be known who are my chosen.
Then it shall be known who are my chosen. If you can't pay the rent, you're going to need the new currency the new currency, which is a chip, to stay in your homes. It'll be all of your technology all in one. Now, some people might ask, well, hold up. Well, what are we going to do? Great question. It's deep, Elder Lawyer, that this guy that was speaking earlier, and I know you probably see it on your own, in the interview that we've seen earlier, the Jewish guy says to him that we're living in a simulation. But I understand what he's saying. Right? It's not a simulation that have been created by this world, like Satan's artificial simulation. We're living in a time stamp that God created from the beginning. This is the ultimate simulation. See, right? But it's prophetic. It has a beginning and an end. So what he's saying is there's an organized power on the outside of this, moving this earth, which is what they deem in this earth a simulation. That there's a greater intelligence that's greater than the intelligence that they serve, AI, that created something out of thin air that's in the center of the universe. And this world calls it a simulation, but it's not. It's the world the Most High created from the beginning. the Alpha, the Omega, the I, the Tha. The people of the promise rising to preeminence. So that's why we're reading this chaos in all this. We're reading the scriptures where they're setting up technology, surveillances, making it where if you don't follow, you're off the grid, because Satan and Esau are losing their power.
Small smart devices that
what we're reading here is how God's people are delivered.
Unethical. No matter if you turn it off,
through the
no matter
faith,
if you put it on airplane,
even through the austerity, even through the hard times, we lean on the God who made the world. Stand on our morals that grounds us. And I'm going to tell you, and these people that are coming against us, they're going to part like the Red Sea. They're going to part like the Red Sea. We're going to just walk through. Untouchable. But if our faith is shaken through these hard times, we began to look at our circumstance, and now we capitulate. We bow to the God of this world based on our current living circumstances being taken away. If anyone choose wrong in that time, that will be the last and worst decision they have made since their existence. No one's saying it's going to be easy. They're going to trick the world with everything they have. They're going to have what? They're going to have simulations. They're going to have AI influencers. Hey, one day they may have just me and lawyers sitting there, and they'll make the whole thing up and all that. Who knows what they're going to do? But it's upon everyone to stand on the faith of that Bible to know what's right according to God, because Satan is going to pull out all the stops to try to destabilize people. Trust in the Most High. Get baptized. Get in the church. Stand on solid footing. And we'll be guided together. Right? They're going to try to do all types of stuff out there. Right?
Wash away, so we can be all unified. Wash away, so you can be purified, sanctified. Wash away, remove all the blood off your hands. Wash away, from all of your sins and be born again. Wash away, from all the sins you have committed, yeah. Wash away, from all of your filth and your wickedness. Wash away, so you can get into the kingdom. Wash away,
Heaven dug deep, so deep your soul was present. Forgot you had a flesh, so blessed made it to heaven. Without faith, it's impossible to please him either. We got our hands to the plow, we're looking forward, or we looking back. Pillars of salt, unworthy with him. One or the other, the Lord's kept when you love him. I hire nothing above him. Yeshai, son of a mother, who wisdom come from the water. We need to get in that water. Baptism is a sacred ceremony that was done from beginnings. Purification and priest before they washed all our sinning. Sacrificial anointing, covenant for the wisdom for all those unwavering and got in the water. Feels only the word. Devout Jews would have been washed already. Feel me? Pray that edifies. Yasharala on the rise. Goals trumping all way. The limit ain't the sky. On earth as in heaven, get manifested in harvest. So many clusters of grapes that Pentecost lit. Like menorahs from Taurus, our fringes all crisp. Living waters, the vibes our sisters been on. Trying to be the light to the world like the sun is. S-O-N, not the S-U-N. Kid, 1611's like the best new thing. Lit. Bible's trending right before he come in. Don't get weary and well doing or lose patience. It gets scary in judgment for sinners all waiting. Our Lord and tarry and either that day is all grace. Ain't no rapture and out of trials, that's all fake. Those in there until the end, the ones that's all saved. Straight and narrow the path, savior of all paid. Jews first, the nations next, the nation vexed. Our conditions positioned for disobeying mess.
Wash away, so we can be all unified. Wash away, so you can be purified, sanctified. Wash away, remove all the blood off your hands. Wash away from all of your sins and be born again. Wash away from all the sins you have committed, yeah. Wash away from all of your filth and your wickedness. Wash away, so you can get into the kingdom. Wash away.
Fresh out the water's the greatest feeling. I promise you nothing could even come close. All of my sins is adios. No more ODing, doing the most. After you clean, the sin it feel gross. Mr. Clean, spiritual soul. Riding around looking for lows. Riding around trying to keep my soul. Streets are submerging, looking for truth, couldn't stand the church. Open the Bible, couldn't stand the verse. Felt the hurt, seeing my family it hurts. Everything I rap was wicked. I was putting curses to verses. What I was binding the earth was pricking my soul. If the kids rehearsed it, or if your moms heard it, I felt the Father observing. Yeah, life I was living, but I wasn't proud. Me against the world, are you still down? We all straight for wisdom, but we still a child. Angel turned me in from the lost and found. Striving for incorruptible crown. Oh, I fell, are you still down? Father lift me up, why are you looking around? Told me the fire baptism started now. He took my hand, tears hit the ground. You're shy of what I do now. He took my hand, my tears hit the. He said, my son, who have I ever confound? Generation old, even till now. He said,
I'm the God of joy, even of peace, that through the Holy Spirit hope may abound.
Wash away, so we can be all unified. Wash away, so you can be purified, sanctified. Wash away, remove all the blood off your hands. Wash away from all of your sins and be born again. Wash away from all the sins you have committed, yeah. Wash away from all of your filth and your wickedness. Wash away so you can get into the kingdom. Wash away, yeah. Wash away, wash away.